What's up, Taj, man? Good morning, bro.
Good morning, man. Good morning from California.
Hey, good morning from Miami. Even though it doesn't look too Miami-ish over here, it looks like it's about to start raining again.
Oh, yeah. Hey, at least you don't have fires going on, man. California is on fire right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I heard about that, man. That was tough. Everything around you okay?
Everything's good, man. Life is beautiful, blessed to see another day where we can have an impact on people. So life is good, man. I can't complain.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Listen, man, thank you. Thank you again for joining us today, bro. I know you have a lot going on, but I definitely appreciate it. You know, we love what you do, and getting the opportunity to kind of take a deeper dive into that. We really appreciate that.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. You know, I've been a believer since day one in what you're doing, and you and Social Aim, and now you got a team. You know, things are going in the right direction, man. So I'm happy to be on here today, and I'm excited for everything you got going on too, man.
Thank you, man. God is good, bro. It's not just me anymore, and it's awesome. And then you know how they say, magic started happening when you start, moving things around. And before I was like, man, if we're really gonna do this, and I'm glad our team's been so amazing, man, and transforming the whole process. So definitely excited about that.
For sure, man. Yeah, everything that's being put out is top notch. All the content, all the interviews, the newsletter. I'm gonna be a part of the newsletter now. Mama, I made it.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited, bro. Tell us a little bit about you, bro. I know. I think you have an amazing story, and one of the reasons I was like, man, we have our community definitely has to hear about this, because I think it's very inspiring, and our core audience, I think, would really learn a lot, especially with the opportunity to get to know you a little bit, and your journey and what's next. So what, who's Taj?
Man, who is Taj? All right, I'm a former athlete, former D1 football player for Stony Brook University. I'm an athlete career transition coach. I work with former athletes to help them map out the next steps of their lives when they're done playing their sport. Obviously, I had a lot of trouble with that, which we can get into if you want to. But yeah, man, I'm a former athlete, an athlete at heart, always an athlete. Like I said, I'm a coach. I'm an author now. I got a book on the way.
Congrats
available
on
for
that,
pre-orders. Thank you, man. ThriveAfterSportsBook.com. Please go check that out. What else, man? I just started working with a publishing company, the same company that actually helped me publish my book, self-published in 30 days. Now working as VP of Service and Support with that company to help other entrepreneurs, other athletes get their stories out to the world, use a book to leverage their business. I got my hands in a few different things, man. I'm just trying to serve. I'm trying to help people.
Right. Man, I mean, let's talk about that a little bit, man. Being an athlete and now making that transition into entrepreneurship and following your passion. How's that experience? I know you said, some challenges that you may have had early on. Do you feel like that's really helping you with some of your transitions and what you're doing now?
Absolutely, man. And any athlete who listens to this, anybody who at one point, even if you played at high school, you know the feeling of, man, this is like the last time I'm taking the jersey off. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of, obviously, everything that I learned through being an athlete, the discipline, just the go-getter attitude, the mindset of it all plays into what I'm doing now. But, man, it's making the leap into entrepreneurship. I almost felt like it was a must for me, man. Like, I don't know. I know I'm preaching to the choir here when I'm talking to you or anybody who's listening. Like that 9-to-5 life, especially if you're not doing something you're enjoying, man, it's not for everybody. It's not passionate. It's not something that I could see myself doing long term. So just making a leap into doing my own thing and having an impact was like, it was a must, man. I almost feel like I always tell people I feel like I didn't have a choice. Like you feel called to do something, especially when you're holding back from it, you're holding back from serving people and having an impact on people. I had to go do something, man. So once I had the idea, I just ran with it. And of course, just like any entrepreneurial journey, it wasn't an easy road, but the longer you stick with it, like things start to open up, doors open up that you never could have imagined. And it's been paying off big time, man. So yeah.
Man, yeah. And I definitely, I empathize with that, man. And know that that feeling, you know, being a high school athlete and going through that experience, right? Even though we had a lot going on, and then and seeing that slip away, right? Because I could definitely understand that, and that's what ended my career very early on. You know, it was a nasty knee injury, and then figuring out, man. And I think a lot of people go through that, and even people who are probably not athletes may have seen their dreams in a particular field slip away, and then you're like, man, what should I do next? Because I think we're all passionate about something, and I think it's a miraculous thing, right? Being able to now understand what you're passionate about, and then seeing, oh my God, I can no longer do X anymore, but I still have that passion. What else can I do with it? So I think that's amazing, man. Let's talk about some of the things that you're passionate about. I know that in your line of work now, you know, it's really you being passion driven and making things happen. What is that like for you?
I love it, man. You know, I love it. And that was the thing. It was like, I think you kind of get to a point where you wake up and you want to do things that have you excited to get up out of bed in the morning. You know, like for me, it was always freedom. Like I was always just chasing freedom. So, oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was like, I think what it is I knew that I wasn't going to be happy unless I was helping other people transform their lives, right? So somewhere along the lines, what it was for me is I realized that there's a lot of people who are lost, like I was, and something amazing happened once I started leaning into, like, I just want to help people. You know, I want to help people kind of get unlost or find their way, you know, like I was. And once I started doing that, man, just like everything in my life really shifted at that point, you know? So, and that's why I really love what you're doing with Social Aim, because social entrepreneurship, before I came across you, man, and I told you this, I had never actually heard that term before. I'm like, man, usually the two are kind of like compartmentalized, where it's like, you don't, when you think entrepreneurship, you think like, you know, go getter, we got to get this money. And yes, that's part of it, but social entrepreneurship is something totally different. And I think you're seeing a shift in society nowadays where a lot of people, especially millennials or, you know, just people in general are leaning towards that because they want to do their own thing. They want the freedom. They don't want to be under like necessarily coming up in the corporate structure. And man, we want to change the world and help uplift our fellow human being. So I don't know if I even answered your question, man, but you know.
No, all good, all good. I think we're definitely there because, you know, and thank you for bringing that up, because that's something normally we don't think about. We know that we're passionate about a lot of things. We know that we want to solve problems, especially this generation. When you're talking about millennials and future generations, we see what's going on in the world, and we're like, man, you know, I wish I could do something about this, and what can I do about it? And we already know what we want to do about certain things, whether it's you know, food security in our neighborhoods, or social injustice, or maybe some environmental challenges. Being in Miami, we know we have our fair share of environmental challenges. But, you know, what can we do about it? Because I know. So, can you kind of talk about where you came from? Because I'm sure you may have had some different goals and aspirations, but then that may have still aligned with your passion. But now finding a different way to kind of channel that passion, you know. Can you kind of talk about that? Maybe share a little bit of perspective.
Yeah, I think channeling my passion, especially, you know, as an athlete, it was something that, and just to kind of, you know, if I'm going to give some advice to anybody listening or tuning into this, whatever it is that really, really lights you up, like if you see something like Emmanuel's talking about, like if you see something that you want to change in the world, just start doing it. You know, you don't have to have everything perfectly lined out and have a business plan and have, you know, or how you're going to monetize it right away. It could be something that you're doing after work. It could be something that you're doing over the weekends. Are you asking specifically for me, Emmanuel, like, or just kind of like in general? What are you asking about, like channeling the passion specifically?
Yeah. Well, I think you were going. You know, I really like what you were saying there, but specifically in terms of you know, you may have had different goals, or seeing the opportunity to channel your passion and actually create something out of it. Now that you have a business, right, that's aligned with your passion, I think it's a great opportunity, because a lot of us may look into, oh man, what exactly can I do? Maybe I don't like the current job that I have, or what I'm currently doing, because we still have to earn a living, and that's the opportunity that social entrepreneurship offers, is being able to build a business, profit generating business that's solving a problem. And I think that you're doing that. What does that mean to you? And um, h- how is it that you're able to just start doing it?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head, man. I just started doing it, and that's that's like the best advice I can offer to anybody.
Hmm.
Is like I was saying, whatever it is, just go for it. And that doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean, like Emmanuel said, that doesn't mean quit your job and just go full speed into. I did that, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't do that. But there's
Hmm.
some things I definitely could have done differently throughout that process. But you don't necessarily have to think, oh, I'm going to invent the next billion-dollar app or something like that. You can do something small just in your local community. You can be a part of a team. You don't necessarily have to be, I think a lot of us get into that kind of head honcho mode where we want to, like, I'm the head guy, I'm the next Steve Jobs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you can build a team around you or be part of someone else's team that's going in a direction where you say, hey, I like the end result. I like where this is going. Let me be a part of that.
Hmm.
So I have my own thing. I do, athlete transition coaching. I have my book coming out. I have a podcast. So I have my own independent thing, but I'm also a part of other organizations.
Hmm.
And the thing that opened the door for me to be a part of those other organizations is by what we're talking about, me just starting to do something. Through me working with athletes independently, I was able to join an organization called Athletes Soul,
Hmm.
where I'm now contracted to coach athletes through an organization which is founded by a former Olympian.
Hmm.
That also led to me joining the publishing company, me writing my book. It led to me being a part of a company. I just reached out, like, looking for some services to get my book
Right.
done. Now
Right.
I'm actually a part of the company and able to have a broader impact and help other people. So whatever it is, like we're talking about, whatever it is you're passionate about, wherever you see that a change needs to be made in the world, which is what all that social entrepreneurship is about,
Hmm.
just get started, just even if it's writing a blog or something about it, just at least you'll have something. You never know. Like the blogs I wrote 4 or 5 years ago are
Right.
now, part of my book. So you never know how it's gonna play out, man.
Let's talk about that book, man. How is it? How like how's that process? Is this your first book?
First book. Won't be the last, but it's the first book. Yep. It will
Yeah,
not be the
man.
last.
I mean, and I, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. We waiting for our pre-order, and can you give us any insights in terms of what we can expect, or how was that experience for you?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for the support, man. You didn't have to, just because we're cool, you didn't have to order the book, but you did. So I appreciate the support, man.
Nah,
As far
anytime, and
as,
I'm looking forward to it, because I know that there's a lot about your story. I'm sure that's in the book, that we don't know. So we're looking forward to discover some of that, man. I think it'll be exciting.
for sure, man, thank you. As far as insights to the book that I could give you, like, it's, even though my story is interwoven into it, it's not about me. I know I'm on the cover and all that, but
Mhm.
this is not an autobiography. This is not, my name is Taj. I was born in Pasadena in 1991. Like, we're not doing all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's more so to help anyone reading it get through whatever chapter they're in their life, whatever,
Mhm.
roadblocks are keeping them from finding their direction. Because especially, not just athletes, but with everything happening in the world, there's a lot of things shifting around and a lot of people are lost. So even though I wrote the book for athletes, and I'm very clear about, I want athletes to read this so they can learn how to navigate their transition into the next phases of their life. This is a book for anybody, man. Because at one point or another, every human being feels lost. And the stuff that I put in there is stuff that I use in my coaching, things that I've seen, things that were taught to me by mentors. So it's a tool. I look at the book as a tool, not a story, not an autobiography, but a tool for someone to go through this. And by the end of the book, be able to say, okay, or as they're going through the book, be able to say, all right, now I'm on my path. I've clearly defined what my path is. I'm executing. This is my plan of action to get there. So yeah, man, that's what it's about. It's a tool more than a book. That's how I look at it.
That's awesome, man. No, thank you for that insight. And so why is that important to you? I know, is this just based on your own experience, or do you feel like because this is part of your journey as an entrepreneur? What does that mean to you?
It was important for me because it's kind of the same reason I started the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So writing the book, I wrote the book for the same reason, where I can only do so many coaching calls in a day. You know what I mean? I can only put out so much content that's going to have an impact on people. So I started a podcast because it's, all right, now people are listening and tuning in who I'll never even meet, never even have a conversation with, and their lives are better because of it, because they're getting practical tools. So the book was kind of the next step too. Some people would prefer to sit down and read a book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that was really the reasoning behind it. Is just another avenue to have an impact, another way to kind of reach people, or even reach the same people who are already kind of tuning into what I'm doing and getting value for what I'm doing, just giving it to them in another format. And it also was therapeutic for me, man, to just kind of put all my thoughts into one place. So I think one thing I learned about the process of writing a book is that, it makes you kind of more of a subject matter expert in your own field. Like, I really had to put myself to the test. Like, what do you actually know about this subject? I'm having conversations with the man in the mirror. Like, I know you've been coaching it, but like, it's time to, put some stuff down on paper and organize your thoughts. Like, let's see what you really know. And I'm really happy with the end product, man. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I can't wait for it. And I like, because that's usually a lot of times that may be some of the hardest things for us to do, is take a step back and look at ourselves and be like, all right, well, where are you now? What can you do? What are your strong points? And I think that's a good way to put it. As our community is all about supporting each other, and we think, particularly whether it underserved founders or emerging entrepreneurs, we can count on our experiences, our and our knowledge or our lack of knowledge, which can be a resource. What are some of the things you think being part of the community, or how are some ways that you think we can support each other, right? And that's just really talking about anyone that's listening to this, and everyone that's part of our community, because we ultimately want to connect with each other and offer support in different ways. What would that look for you?
I mean, I'm already seeing the benefits of it. Just, from the time that you told me what the community was all about, and me, signing up for the newsletter, or just keeping track of some of the webinars that you do, where you have different subject matter experts on. It's been tremendous, man. What's that old saying? A rising tide raises all ships.
Right.
So I think that's a huge benefit of being a part of the social land community, is that you're getting to see other people who are passionate about making an impact on the world. You're getting to see them grow and share ideas and trade ideas. I don't want to drop a whole bunch of sayings, but there's another saying I really like, and it's, if I give you an apple and you give me an orange, then we each, we switch. Like, you have an orange and I have an apple. But if I give you an idea and you give me an idea, then we each just walked away with 2 ideas, right? So that's what the community is about. That's what I'm really seeing so far. There's even people who I've worked with in the past, like Danielle, who you had on last. I'm seeing her pop up in the newsletter, and I'm like, dope. Now, not only, you know what I mean?
Right.
Danielle and I had our time working together, and now we're in the same community where we can follow each other's journey and, trade ideas about what we're doing with our different ventures and continue to watch each other grow, man. So as far as the benefits of the community, it's endless, man. There's no, and I know you and the team are just getting started over there. So it's
man, we're just getting started, man. We're super excited. And that's what we want to continue doing. So what are some ways that we can continue supporting you, whether it's supporting some of the initiatives that we have going on, that you have going on, or some of your future plans? What would that support look like for you?
Well, first of all, you already know I'm going to say you got to go visit
Hey, yeah,
ThriveAfterSports.com. You got to check out the book, share it with an athlete, pass it on to someone who may be struggling. Thrive After Sports podcast, please share that with as many people as possible. Some things, honestly, man.
Oh, wait, hold on. You
Yeah.
know what? I love your podcast, bro, and I don't even think we talk a lot about that enough, right? In terms of because having a few listens. Would you mind sharing some insight on that? Where we can find it, and so that way we can. I don't know. You're probably going to get there, but I didn't want you to miss out on it.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, the podcast is available everywhere: Spotify, Apple, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts, Stitcher, all that good stuff. What it's really about, man, is like I said, it's about me finding a different avenue to reach the people that I won't be able to reach one-on-one. So I give a lot of tools. It's not the type of thing where I'm not the type of guy who's going to put stuff out and be like, all right, now if you want more, you got to pay me. Like the good information is behind the paywall. Like that's not how I get down. So the podcast is all stuff that I'm using in my coaching, different things that I learned through my experience. I'm sharing that. I have people that I've worked with, who have gone through my coaching program, and I've worked with them one-on-one. I interview them and put that on my podcast. And then also whenever I'm on someone else's show or someone else's podcast, I share that on my podcast as well. Like if you're cool with it, Emmanuel, I'd love to share this on my podcast.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
For sure, man. It just gives, my listeners a chance to check out what some other dope people are doing. But yeah, man, the podcast is available everywhere. So check me out. Tune in.
We'll be tuning in, bro. Thank you for that. Yeah. So what's what are some of the other things on the horizon for you? I know we talked about the book, and I know we talked about some of your next steps. What would that look like? Let's talk about some of the impact that that you want to make. We talked about that early on. What would it look like for you maybe in the next 5 years, right? If you were to kind of look back and see some of the work that you've done and the impact that it has already made, whether it's in lives or in some certain communities, what would that impact look like for you?
That's a great question, man. I love that question. What that looks like for me is changing the way that an athlete goes through the transition after their sport, whether that's high school, college, or professional. I'm not just saying they know they can reach out to Taj. I'm talking about they know that there's a community, a network of former athletes who are doing big things in the world, who have their back and are there to support them. That's my goal at the end of it all, so that no one really has to be lost unless they choose to, because they know that there's a community of people who can reach out to, or ideally having a community who can reach out to them. I'm talking about having a team of people who can reach out to former athletes as they're coming out of college or coming out the pros, and being connected with people who can guide them. Aside from that, man, what I'm looking at is really leaning more into helping people who want to be entrepreneurs, specifically social entrepreneurs. And obviously that's why there's so much synergy between us and a lot of room for collaboration, because what I'm looking at is I'm a little biased, right? Whenever I'm working one-on-one with the former athlete, I kind of like plant seeds like, hey, have you ever thought about, looking into your own business, or, because I'm all about ownership. So I'm happy to help someone get a job, but I'm thinking like, man, you ever thought about doing something on your own? So that's what I'm looking at now, is really bringing former athletes who are entrepreneurs together, and being able to share, so that other former athletes out there know that there's opportunities for them and people they can learn from in business and as entrepreneurs. So I want to create that community too. But yeah, man, that's what that's looking like for me, is just having a broader impact, really leaning into entrepreneurship, especially for former athletes. I think athletes make better entrepreneurs than, employees at the end of the day. I had to be in the business of Taj going through college. I had to run my own, get to class, get to practice, maintain, eat right, all that type of stuff. So yeah, man, that's what I'm looking at. Writing more books, of course.
Right.
Working on projects with Social Aim, that, man. That part's a must.
Man, listen, bro, I think that's really good, especially when you talk about that, making that impact, because, our athletes and public figures, like athletes, are a huge part of our communities. And a lot of times we have that, philanthropic itch inside of us. We know that we want to do good for our communities, and I think you know, it means well to be able to translate that into a business opportunity and be investors, right? So that's awesome, man. I love that. I love that you're doing that for communities all over, because that's where we're from, and that's definitely key. That's definitely key, and I love where you're going with this. So someone who may be looking at this and would like to work with someone like you, right? I know I'm not sure if you're clear on our website. What are all of the different ways that we can catch up with you, connect? What's preferred for you?
Honestly, man, I'm going to say I'm most active on LinkedIn, but you can hit me up anywhere. So TajDeshaun.com, that's the website. All my social media is linked up on there. Very active on LinkedIn, somewhat active on IG. So if you want to reach out directly, either schedule time to speak with me at TajDeshaun.com under contact, or just shoot me a message on LinkedIn or IG or something. I'm pretty accessible. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. If not, just schedule some time with me on the website. Aside from that, like I already mentioned several times, ThriveAfterSportsBook.com. The podcast is Thrive After Sports. And also, man, self-published in 30 days. You can reach out to them or to me directly. I'm the vice president now, so I'm overseeing a lot of different projects. Really excited about that, man. I'm helping some former athletes, like we talked about, former athletes who are entrepreneurs. I'm helping them write books, man. Not helping them write the book, but helping them launch the book project, assigning a team to help them get it done and leverage the business. So, yeah, man, that's how you can connect with me. Reach out to your boy. Don't be shy.
Reach out to the man. Hey, congratulations on that again. On the new venture with Published in 30 Days. I think that's awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Awesome. As we wrap up, Taj, would you mind? We want to leave with a quick takeaway. So, can you think of a couple challenges, maybe two, right, that you might have had along the way, and what were the key to you overcoming them? And it's okay if you didn't overcome a challenge, because we could learn from that too. So if you mind, maybe share some failures or share how you overcome a certain challenge that you thought was key to you being where you are now.
Okay, yeah, I'll share. So 2 separate things, and I'll get some advice around those things too. The first one of my major challenges, and this is all the transition is about, the struggle with transition is about, is not having clarity, right? So that was one of my biggest things, is coming out of college and having no idea what I wanted to do. I'm talking about no clue. Like, I just know I wanted some money. I needed a check. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so
cut the check.
I need a check, man. I need to get paid. I'm trying to move out on my own. I got bills to pay. So having clarity is huge. And one thing I always recommend to people, because I think a lot of people are kind of, unhappy with their current situations, whether it's their job or just, financial situation. I think a lot of people lack clarity because they don't spend time trying to get clear. So one thing I really recommend is, let's say, for example, you don't like your job. Don't come home after your job and, grab a 6-pack on the way home and come home and sit on the couch and drink beers and watch Netflix. That's the only time that you have to start shifting your situation. I recommend that people really write something down and get clear. So you talked about where I want to be in 5 years. Definitely, I recommend doing that. Write down from today's date. So it's, September 2020. I'm talking about write down September 2022, 2023, 2024. I want to be doing this, this, and this. And then immediately wake up the next morning and start working on it, So that would be the first thing I would say, clarity. The second biggest
challenge right there.
What's that?
I'm saying that's gems right there, bro.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. The second thing that I think is really big for me is and this was a challenge that I had, but I overcame it because I knew that I had to, right? It's continuing to push no matter what. Because there's a lot of social entrepreneurs that are going to be listening to this episode. If you're just getting started, don't expect to see results right away. I made that mistake. I started working with athletes. I thought I was just going to be making 6 figures right out the gate because I had a good idea, and it still is a good idea. It's a great idea, but at the same time, it took time to develop it, So whatever you're doing, you're going to experience all types of emotions. There's going to be times where you're going to want to quit. Like, why am I even doing this? You know, should I just go get a job? You know, and I experienced like a million different emotions to get to this point where I'm at today. But if I just would have thrown in the towel and been like, all right, maybe working with athletes isn't for me, I'll just go a different route, then all of the things that started to pop up wouldn't have popped up. You know what I mean? So that'll be the second thing I would say, man, is whoever's listening to this, whatever you're going through right now, if you really believe in what you're doing, you have to be willing to like go to battle every single day for that idea and not expect anything right away. You know, be willing to sleep in your car to make this idea come to life if you have to. If that's what it comes down to, you have to be willing to do stuff like that. So,
man, that's awesome, man. Thank you for that. I think those are two great takeaways. And you know, anybody else who, you know, if you think you don't have that drive, I think, you know, at least you know Taj got it and he could share it with you.
That's right, man. If you don't got it for yourself, I got it for you.
Right.
Just reach out, you know. But I'll just give you a little pep talk in the morning for 5 minutes to get you going. Tell you to get out of bed. Why are you sleeping?
Get the book so you can have the pep talk with you every day.
That's right, man. Yeah, get the book. Just look at the cover every day. Be like, if Taj did it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, listen, brother. Thank you so much, man, for chatting with us, you know, and chopping it up. I know you're away right now with the family, you know, with your loved one. So that definitely means a lot, stopping by and talking to our community for a little bit.
Hey man, thank you for the opportunity to come on and share, and just thank you for everything that you're doing, you know, just for the world, not just for me. Like, from the first time you told me about this idea, I told you like 10 minutes into our call, I don't believe it. Like, just tell me where to sign up. How can I create my account? I'm on board. So, you know, just much respect to what you're doing and all the continued growth, man. Wishing you nothing but the best. And I'm excited to be a part of your journey and a part of the community, man. So much love to you and yours.
Yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy the rest of your day and your evening. You know, and then we'll continue to collaborate, man. We're definitely looking forward to all of your growth. And I can't wait for the book, man. So, you know, I'll look forward to it. My review will be ready, you know, so, you know, I'm looking for that.
For sure, man. I'm going to send you a signed copy.
Hey.
Thanks again. Put some love in there. I got to leave a note for you, man.
Yes. Looking for that. Thank you, brother. So, you know, I'm looking forward to chatting soon with you, all right?
Sounds good, Emmanuel. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.